way, all the way. Touchdown. You got to be ready for it, but how do you stop it? Fires, and there he goes. Touchdown. Well, this is how legends are made.
Welcome to the 120th Army-Navy game. A little over 2 hours ago, the Brigade of Midshipmen started the stately, time-honored tradition of the March On.
We don't just represent ourselves. We don't just represent the institution. We represent the Navy and Marine Corps as a whole, all those who have served before us, those who will serve after us.
This country has done so many great things for me, and it's just a way for me to give back and be a part of something that's just bigger than myself.
This is an incredible opportunity for us. A lot of people aren't going to get to experience this. It kind of humbles you a little bit of the position you've been put in.
We are ready to serve the nation.
You know, we came here to do more. We came here to come serve our country, and we take pride in the branch we represent.
You realize there's something different about this game. There's something special about this one. We're playing Army. This is different.
Then the long gray line entered.
Joining the military at its core was really a way that I could give back to America for everything it's done for my parents and for my family.
I wanted to come here to maximize my leadership abilities, and with that came an opportunity to serve.
Seeing the impact that we made on other people's lives outside of the academy, and it made me realize I was doing something bigger than just myself.
We represent the Army and those that have gone before us.
I think about all the heroes that have come out of, not only this school, but this team, and I know what that means to them.
Every day I get to put this uniform on and get to serve in these roles. I remember why I decided to serve.
Scene we have for you today in Philadelphia. Hello, everyone, and welcome to State Farm College Football today and the 120th Army-Navy game presented by USAA. Those yearly march-ons always provide a moment of reflection on the uncertain times we live in today. But let's not forget that this is a day of celebration as well, a celebration of brotherhood wrapped around a football game. And joining me now, Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones, and all the cadets, all the midshipmen are now taking their seats. The players are on the field behind us. This is a great rivalry game, a ball game, and a championship of sorts, all wrapped into one, BJ.
Yeah, it's a wonderful setting, and few of us are afforded the opportunity to play big-time college football. Even fewer have the construct to accept and embrace the ultimate sacrifice that the participants on this field have so gladly embraced. Reason alone why this is the rivalry that stands alone.
We're so lucky to be here, and I'm so thankful that college football has given the stage to this game. It's the one and only game of the day. It's the perfect combination of pride, passion, and patriotism. We're going to get it all today. Sit back and enjoy.
And we had admirals and generals in our presence. Those are guys who, they were kids. They were part of that march on decades ago, and so they are tied together, but today they are on opposite sides. And for Navy comes in number 23 in the country. They're going to face Kansas State in the Liberty Bowl on New Year's Eve. A win today would give the Mids a 10-win season and a chance to finish in the AP Top 25 for the third time in the last 56 years. But more importantly, they would win back the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. While for 5-7 Army, there is no bowl game, this is it. A win here would allow the cadets to retain that trophy. And as we take a look at both teams now live in our eye test, starting with the Black Knights of Army, what are you looking for, Coach?
Well, Jeff Bunkin, this is his 6th year, and if you study the last 5, no team has scored more than 21 and no team has scored less than 10. We're going to get a great game today. Obviously, he's won 3 in a row. We'll see if they can get their 4th.
Well, it's going to have a lot to do with who's playing at quarterback. Kevin Hopkins has been the starter. He's had a fabulous season. He's been off injured during this year. You've had Christian Anderson, who's also had some run, a ton of run in the last ball game versus Hawaii. So that's going to be key. You know, Anderson is a guy who's more legs than actually his arm as far as doing the work, whereas Hopkins is more of a dual threat. But this young man, highly guarded, coming out of the Bronx, New York.
All triple option offenses start with the fullback. Connor Slumka is the fullback for Army. 637 yards, 8 touchdowns. He'll have to be a bell cow today for the Black Knights to get a victory. And then play in the wing, they'll have Sandon McCoy. He'll be the pitch man if the quarterback, whether it's Hopkins or Anderson, decides to deal the ball off. McCoy has 555 on the year and 10 touchdowns.
Hey, a guy who really has legitimate aspirations and the ability to ascend to the NFL is Elijah Riley. This young man leads the Black Knights in interceptions 3, forced fumbles 3, sacks, and also his buddy back there, Jalen McClinton. He went to high school with Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors, or I should say attended the same high school, has started at nickelback and also played a limited role at cornerback and safety. Cole Christensen is the leader on that defensive side of the ball, leads them in tackles, 103 on the season. He has 6 games thus far with 10-plus tackles, career high 16 tackles versus Air Force.
And this Army senior class, they were 2-10 before they got to campus. They're trying to be the first senior class to go 4-0 against Navy since 1996. But Ken Niumatalolo says that's not happening now. Different team this year.
Kenny Niumatalolo did the hardest thing coaches have to do. He made a change on his staff. He got rid of his defensive coordinator from a year ago and hired Brian Newberry from Kennesaw State. An unbelievable decision, and it's paid great dividends.
And another thing he did, he brought in an offense that fit the skill set of Malcolm Perry. This guy's been outstanding. The leading rusher at the quarterback position in all of college football, averaging 136 on the ground.
Jamel Carruthers is the story. This kid started as the 5th-string tailback, got moved to fullback, and all he's done is average 8.4 per carry, 13 touchdowns. Watch him go today. And then you've got Ford Higgins. When you talk triple option, you've got to have a center that knows everything about every defense. Ford Higgins has been that. He's a senior. He's the leader up front. And they need a win today so they don't go empty against Army.
And Jacob Springer leads the Midshipmen in tackles for loss, 13.5, sacks with 7. Prior to this season, he was moved from striker to safety. Striker's more like a hybrid at that nickel position. And then you got Nazir Cromartie. I love what he said about this new defense. He said it's elegant violence. Here's a guy who really put a hat on you and one of the leaders of many on that defensive side of the ball.
Paul Carruthers from Flowery Branch, Georgia. Nothing flowery about this linebacker's game. 50 tackles, 4 sacks. This is a time of possession game, Adam. Whoever can hang on to the ball, these defenses will be trying to get it back for their offense.
No doubt. And Navy offense, #1 in the country in rushing yards per game. And, of course, both teams have followers all over the world. But Army, there is no follower like Army Colonel Dr. Drew Morgan, who has a cheer that's out of this world. How about that? You're watching State Farm College Football today on CBS. A reminder, stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free, always-on sports news network for nonstop highlights, breaking news, and expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today. The Black Knights are wearing uniforms today honoring the historic 1st Cavalry Division, paying homage to the birth of air mobility during the Vietnam War. Highlights now of Army season presented by State Farm.
They throw it out there, and the catch, no! Incomplete. 4th and goal. Hopkins looking at where he's got him wide open. He didn't throw it, and it's incomplete. Air Force stands again. Here's Laws, McCoy, Sandon McCoy, a hat trick of touchdowns.
So Army Army comes in 5-7. As for Navy, defensive tackle Marcus Edwards continues to work his way back from a concussion. The 6'4" senior from Tucson, Arizona, along with 3 of his teammates, are part of a group who are developing, as part of their senior project, technology to improve helmet safety and identify health risks like his.
The overall focus of our project is all about player safety. It's actually really cool to do something that directly has impacted us.
The time takes off and gets pounded.
I'm just coming back from a concussion I sustained a few weeks ago in game, and I've had concussions throughout my time playing football.
At the beginning of this project, I think that we all just saw this as very relatable.
We wanted to do something for players, by the players, just to make the senior project something that hits home for us.
How does this translate into being on the player?
See that there's a change both in X and Y data.
Everybody working on the team is an engineering major, but we're all from different specific disciplines. The main goal was to design a helmet that really measures and predicts the overall health of the player. The main things we're trying to focus on are heart rate, body temperature, and salinity. It'll let you know how hard their body's working at a given moment, how likely they are to be at risk of injuries.
If you're proactive in the beginning, the steps you have to take to get that individual better are so much easier than when they're already too far gone and you have to try to make these steps up later. Overall, it's going to better their performance, and most importantly, it's going to better their health.
This group hoping to have a prototype ready for spring, and Elon Nash, one of the guys working on this, because safety is still so paramount. BJ, it would be amazing if they could come up with something to improve the overall safety of football players.
Oh, yes, it would. The more bright minds in the room, the merrier, as we try to continually try to make our game safe.
Too many valuable lessons to be learned from football. We need to keep it around as a game, and it's great that really intelligent young people like this are making it a life's mission.
And there's one of them on the field today, and that is the Navy quarterback, the man tasked with leading Navy's nearly unstoppable triple option, senior quarterback Malcolm Perry, the American Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Needs just 88 yards to pass Napoleon McCallum for the school's all-time single-season rushing record, 69 yards in total offense to set the school record for total offense in one season. He's going to have him on their back today.
Remarkable player. Reminds me of Greg Ward Jr. from Houston, who is now playing in the NFL as a receiver. He started his career as a receiver, now is the triple option threat, and then some.
And what I'm reminded of is a season ago, he went from quarterback to slot back to quarterback, and now they've catered this offense to his talents, and he is really taking off.
And on the other side of the ball for Navy, you find linebacker Nazaire Cromartie. He's wearing a patch today for the Pensacola Naval Air Station to honor Naval Academy graduate Joshua Caleb Watson, one of 3 victims who died in last week's shooting. The Navy uniform and helmets are also a throwback to the midshipmen's 1960s heyday, paying homage to Heisman winners Joe Bellino and Roger Staubach, whose numbers 12 and 27 are displayed on their helmets. A look back now at Navy season presented by State Farm.
Final play of regulation. Throws it out to the side for Sanders. They trip him up in the backfield. Cromartie's got it. Ball is out. Mid-scoop. And they score! It's all over here in Annapolis. It's absolute pandemonium.
Nichols. Yes! What a comeback. What a game. This is coming. The throw off the backside of Kinley, incomplete. And the Navy sidelines go bananas.
State Farm College Football Today is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. We mentioned that there are celebrities here at the game today, and well, I'm not going to get into the names of any of them because the real focus should be on the players on the field behind us, but with one exception. There is Sully, the late George H.W. Bush's former service dog, who was immortalized in a statue unveiled Monday at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum in Texas. Sully, best remembered completing his mission at the side of the 41st President's casket just over a year ago, is now an enlisted canine serving in the Navy as a hospital corpsman, second class. We love our dogs, don't we?
Man's best friend right there. Loyalty. And everybody here has pledged their loyalty, which is why this is such a unique experience.
Well, he's first class all the way.
Yeah. And now another great moment here. The Service Academy Exchange, a yearly tradition since 1975, where selected midshipmen and cadets spending a semester of their second class year in enemy territory are returned to the academy that they started with, at least for the duration of the game. And those cadets who have been in Annapolis this semester, it said 4-0 on the back of those coats.
Free at last, free at last.
That's right, and what a great environment in which to be freed in.
And that was what the cheering was. Hey, for the next few hours, the city of brotherly love will play host to one of the most historic rivalries in all of sports. But once the Commander-in-Chief's trophy is hoisted and the stadium empties, the unbreakable bond between the cadets and midshipmen, a brotherhood forged by a sense of duty and honor, is left unshaken.
Bitter rivals for 364 days and 18 hours. And now they're all on the same team.
The deep sense of brotherhood that they feel with each other, I think, compels them to play the best they can. And in this game, those emotions and those feelings come out more than any other game.
They'll be serving together to protect our country. Well, right now it's just about beating them on the field.
Once the game's over, once we graduate, we're going to be defending the Constitution and our democracy and our way of life. And we're going to be doing it together with the guys across from us on the field. We understand what we're doing afterwards, and it's pretty cool to see that we can compete as hard as we do on the field, but then still be brothers in arms afterwards.
That's just everyone that commits himself to service and commits himself to this country, to serve, to be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Each of you have signed up to do something bigger than just football, and you know that, but for that day, for those few hours, you get to just be a football player and go out there and compete. When it's all said and done, you never know who on the other side you're going to count on someday.
Goosebumps here, and really it's this game, it's this rivalry that is the only thing that truly separates them.
The most uniqueness about this is that these guys are going to be brothers in arms once they leave this football field. All this will not be forgotten, but they understand down the road, I'm going to need you and you're going to need me, and we'll be there for each other.
If that doesn't make you want to say USA, USA, I don't know what will.
Yes.
Well, they're going to be cheering for their respective academies as well today, and the Black Knights have won America's game 3 years in a row, giving Army the chance to walk off the field and celebrate a 4-year sweep of Navy for the first time in 23 years, and it's something that both senior classes are very much aware of.
For the 3rd year in a row, the Black Knights of Army have won the Army-Navy matchup.
Being 3-0 right now and going out 4-0 that's what every senior wants. That's what every person that comes through an academy wants, to be able to say you beat Navy all 4 years.
The first thing you learn when you come here, is to beat these guys, and to not have done that yet is bothersome. And just feel fortunate to have one more opportunity to go at it, and we're excited to give these guys our best shot.
I think there's so much on the line. To say that we went 4-0 against Navy would be something that very few people have done. And I know my senior class and myself want to be able to say that for the rest of our lives.
It would change the way me, myself personally, I think about my career here at the Naval Academy. Those 3 losses would definitely make this one taste even sweeter.
It's a whole lot better to be on the side where you've got the bragging rights than being on the other side.
And who will have the bragging rights after the 120th edition of America's Game, gentlemen?
Well, I'm going to pick Navy today because Malcolm Perry has been that good a football player, the most explosive player on the field. But do not count out Army, because they know this is their season.
It's going to be a close affair, as it always is in this contest, but I'm going with Navy as well because of that defense. They have improved tremendously on that side of the ball. That will get them over the top in this one.
We've had rain throughout the day. We've had major gusts of wind come through here. It's coming off and on. It could get sloppy.
The hard stuff hadn't come down for a while yet.
Oh, we can take this. Just imagine what these young men and women are going to have to undertake once they're done here.
A true spectacle, and it is our honor to bring it to you here on CBS. And BJ, don't you think you should have worn a hat?
I'm going to take yours for halftime.
Coming up, it's the 120th Army-Navy game. Brad, Gary, and Jamie are standing by with the call, the national anthem, and presidential coin toss right after this. State Farm College Football Today is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.